Can you beat Pokemon Violet with just a Paldean Wooper? No, not a team, just a single Wooper caught in the wild with no held items and without using items in battle. Let's find out. We get our Paldean Wooper just after the lighthouse, and here he is, Mini Swamp. It has a careful nature, so its special defense is boosted and its special attack is reduced. Perfect, as we'll mainly be relying on physical attacks throughout this challenge. That's enough preamble, Mini Swamp is asleep. Let's jump ahead to the first rival fight just outside the Messagoza gate, which goes as well as you'd expect. A single water gun from her Quaxley beats Mini Swamp with ease. Yes, we gave our rival the Pokemon that we're weak to, and yes, I chose the Wooper that doesn't have the water absorb ability, and yes, I'm making this as difficult as possible. Oh, I should probably bring this up now. You're forced to battle Nemona a few times during the game. However, you can lose these fights and still progress the story, which is what we'll be doing. Why? Because if I'm forced to overlevel to beat a water-type starter, it'll likely make the rest of the game too easy, which I don't think is great content. During the battle against Team Star, Mini Swamp reaches level 8 and learns Poison Tail, a 50-power Poison-type move. It's better than Acid Spray, and will be our main damage-dealing move until we hit level 24. As the world opens up, I choose to take on the Grass-type Artisan Gym first. We have to speak to the receptionist first, who I wish would sub to me, but apparently she doesn't have a YouTube account. I don't know if I'm keeping that in. The battle against Brassius is embarrassing. We can't even make it past his first Pokemon Petalil, which puts us to sleep and then destroys us with Mega Drain. It's not until our Wooper is level 18 that we're able to make it past this Pokemon, but with just 1 HP remaining, meaning we lose to Smoliv. A Smoliv! Okay, let's tackle Katie, the Bug Gym Leader. Each of her Pokemon is 2 levels lower than Brassius, and Wooper resists Bug type, so we easily make it past Nimble, which can only attack with Struggle Bug. Tarantula puts up a bit more of a fight as we don't resist dark type attacks, but poison damage from our ability and a couple of poison tails knocks it out. Katie's final Pokemon, Teddiursa, uses Fury Cutter, which grows stronger with multiple uses, so we lose this run. You might be asking, why is Wooper so bad? Well, it's because I'm terrible at Pokemon. Wait, who put this in the script? It's because Wooper's base stat total is a lackluster 210. I'll throw them on screen now. Its low HP, defense, and special defense stats means it can't take much damage before fainting, which is made worse by its base speed of 15, meaning most mons around Mini Swamp's level will usually be faster than it. Its special attack is so low that we have to rely on physical attacks, but even they're not much stronger. Basically, this Pokemon wasn't built to take on a challenge like this, which is what makes it so fun. So I battle multiple Mash Chiefs which can be found around Cortando. They give attack EVs, which in turn boosts Mini Swamp's attack stats. So Nimble now goes down to 2 Poison Tails, as does her second Pokemon. Teddiursa lands 3 Fury Swipes as we land Poison Tail and poison it. As we trade blows, I protect every other turn to get some residual damage from the poison. I use this strategy multiple times throughout this challenge run. This strategy pays off, and we're able to squeak by at level 20. Nemona calls, saying you should probably leave a lie. She must be right, as she's in school, and therefore must be smarter than I am. Back at the grass gym, we're now able to make it to Brassius' final mon, Sudowoodo. However, we've taken too much damage from his previous mons to win. It's becoming obvious that Wooper can't take much damage. This early in the game, most trainers use between 1 and 3 mons, so by increasing its HP, defense, and special defense EVs, it should survive long enough in battle to win. Among the Pokemon in the nearby area, we battle Knackley for defense EVs, which we nearly lose to. We also nearly lose to Growlithe as we miss our attack and it burns us. You know what? This isn't bad luck anymore. Paldean Wooper is a bad Pokemon. At level 24, we learn Poison Jab, Wooper's strongest physical poison type attack at 80 base power. We're now faster than both of Brassius' first 2 mons, and with Poison Jab, we're able to knock them both out in a single attack each. Sudowoodo is still faster, but Trailblaze only deals 22 points of damage. So we have plenty of HP to beat the second gym and claim the grass badge. We also beat Glorf, the first Titan Pokemon. We only win thanks to the damage increase from terrestrializing and the game choosing to take it easy on us. If it had chosen to use back-to-back Vice Grips, we'd have lost. We head into the second phase of the battle unhealed, so of course we lose. But for the rematch, I just go on the offensive, relying on Arven's Pokemon to soak up the damage as I use terrestrialize boosted mud shots each turn. Easy. I try to take on the Houndour outside Team Star's Fire Crew base. It outmatches us and I try to get past it using Yawn on turn 1, Protect on turn 2 and then attacking. It wakes up on the first attempt, not once but 5 times. Luck is not on my side. I'll come back later. Now in Levincia City, we're treated to a surprise rival fight against Nemona. We can make it past her first two Pokemon, Rockruff and Pawmi. However, her water starter has evolved, so a terrestrialized water pulse easily wins her the fight. Now in the gym, Iono wants to increase her views and subs, and you can help too. Hey everyone, it's me, Professor Owen. I know, surprise peeks your face. If you're after more Pokemon content such as challenge videos, Let's Plays, or Versuses, then consider subscribing to the channel. I do a lot more of these types of content, and I wouldn't mind hitting 1,000 subscribers in 2023 after 4 years of content creation. Thank you, and back to the video. Oh, you subbed to me. Nice. Shout out to Electro King who donated 5,000 Pokedollars. Oh, to Iono? Not me? You're still not getting a bathtub stream. The third gym battle continues the trend of the previous two gyms. Wooper just isn't strong enough. Earthquake won't work against Watchel because of its flying typing, but we're able to chip away at its health using Poison Jab and Poison Damage. Volleybolt has access to Water Gun. A single attack brings Wooper to just 2 HP, so of course we lose. We couldn't even make it past her second Pokemon, and she has another 2 mons after Volleybolt we need to beat. Next, we head west to tackle the Titan Bombardier. Our Poison Point ability saves us during the battle as Yawn fails on turn 1, and it hits us hard with Wing Attack. I choose to Protect to stall and whittle its HP down with Poison. Its third attack, a critical Rock Throw, hits, leaving Mini Swamp with a third of its maximum health. However, one final Protect wraps up the battle. That was close. Which means we're off to a terrible start in the second phase of the battle. Arven basically solos this fight as I waste my only turn using Protect before Bombardier knocks out Miniswamp. However, he does receive help from our poison damage, but I don't think it mattered. Because of Wooper's terrible stats, battles against wild Pokemon take a long time, or, in my experience, Miniswamp just gets knocked out. So, to level up, we rely on joining random Terra Raid battles for XP candies and EV boosting feathers too. While we're on this side of the island, we tackle Team Star's Dark Crew base. We can't get in without 3 Pokemon. So we add 2 Woopers, which die pretty much as soon as we enter the base. But Miniswamp is able to solo the rest of the Pokemon on its own, leading us to a boss fight with Giacomo. He leads with Pawniard. We're off to a great start as it misses Metal Claw and we counter with Mudshot. It's super effective and lowers its speed, but it's still faster, and now it has increased attack because of its Defiance ability. It's able to bring Wooper to just 24 HP, and that was after we terrestrialized to remove our poison typing and weakness to steel type moves. So it's probably no shock that the Starmobile is faster, and we lose yet another fight. One great thing about Pokemon moving to the open world is now we can find even stronger TMs early in the game, such as Earthquake, which is Wooper's strongest ground type move. To claim it, we have to beat 5 of the 10 trainers in the Acido Desert. It's easier than it sounds though, as some of the trainers have water type moves which usually one-shot our Pokemon, like Basculin's Aqua Jet. But after some trial and error, we finally beat the required amount. While here, we track down Kofu and get ambushed by wild Paldean Tauros. It goes as well as you'd probably expect. We're also unable to beat Kofu's gym trainer Hugo, as his Floatzel's Water Gun. Yes, Water Gun is too strong. We increase our Pokemon's level to 35 and use some more EV boosting feathers and attempt the third gym again. Watchel goes down to a single Poison Jab. Bellibolt wastes his turn with Spark, for some reason. A Terrestrialized Earthquake knocks it out. Hiluxio intimidates us, then flinches us with Bite. On the second turn, it again uses Bite, but also goes down to a single Earthquake despite the intimidation. Iono's last mon is Mismagius. Earthquake is ineffective as it has the Levitate ability. Ghost types usually resist poison type attacks, but thanks to her terrestrializing it, our Poison Jab is now effective. It's a tense battle and RNG plays its part. We're able to overcome Confusion twice and poison it with our ability as it deals massive damage to Miniswamp with Hex. On the final turn though, Miniswamp snaps out of Confusion and so we can Protect, letting the poison finish off Mismagius. After the battle we bump into Gita. She tells us to aim high, but honestly, I will not conform to social norms and refuse to fill up the Pokedex. Unlike my rival's mum. Even with Miniswamp's increased level and access to Terrestrialized boosted Earthquake, we still can't beat Team Star's Dark Crew boss. We simply don't have enough HP to survive. We level up Miniswamp to level 41. At this point, I have a mini panic attack every time I level up Wooper as it tries to evolve. So I equip an Everstone. Yes, I said no items in battle. However, the Everstone gives no advantages and means I don't have to worry about the game auto-saving after Wooper evolves, ruining this challenge. With our increased level, we're able to beat Giacomo. Our tactics? We terrestrialize and use Earthquake over and over until we win. As we're already in the area, we attempt the normal gym. While here, we're hassled. Get it? Hassled? As for the gym battle, we can't even reach it at this stage, as the first gym challenger you have to battle uses Greedent. It hits hard and tanks our attacks. We're at a difficult point in the game where winning battles relies more on whether our Pokemon can one-shot others, as it doesn't have enough HP to survive more than 1 or 2 attacks. So in battle with trainers who use multiple Mons, we're at a massive disadvantage. So much so, it's not until 11 levels later that we're able to squeak by that gym trainer with just 6 HP. So, how do we get on against Larry, the normal type gym leader? At level 50, we're usually able to beat Kamala without taking any damage by using a single terrestrialized Earthquake. The downside of this is that it usually uses Yawn, giving us just 1 turn before Wooper falls asleep. So I use Yawn to put Dun Sparse to sleep and hope maybe we can wake up before it does. It uses Glare, paralyzing Mini Swamp. At least we won't fall asleep, I guess. I use my Yawn and Protect strategy to buy time. Did you know that Hyper Drill bypasses Protect? I didn't. So we take damage and Dun Sparse only stays asleep 1 turn before knocking out our Pokemon. Ace. Our next attempt follows the same premise, and instead of wasting a turn with Protect, I'm able to knock out the Dun Sparse this time, bringing us face to face with Larry's final Staraptor, which intimidates us and then destroys us with Facade. Wooper couldn't survive 2 attacks. 2! To win, we'll need to one-shot all of his mons. I try again at level 55, and Earthquake still can't knock out Dun Sparse in a single attack. Before I level up any further, let's see if we can beat some of the other Team Star and Titan bases. Remember that Houndour I struggled with earlier in this video? Yeah, we put it down, but it's still faster than our Pokemon. How is Wooper this slow? In the battle against Melee, a terrestrialized Earthquake sees off both Torkoal and Revavroom. Next up, we attempt to beat Orthworm. It's a pure Steel type, so my Poison type attacks won't work. So I'll just use Earthquake, which also doesn't work because of its ability Earth Eater. It's only weak to fighting and fire moves. Luckily, we've been carrying around TM Low Kick for a while. Low Kick deals more damage the heavier the target. Because of Orthworm's weight, Low Kick's power is increased to 120, so it's no surprise that we only need to land 1 attack in the first battle, and 2 in the second to defeat the third Titan. Remember Hugo from earlier? It's time for some revenge as we one-shot both of his mons. We're 27 levels higher. What did you expect? I'm amazed how well we do against the Water-type gym leader Kofu. Both his first 2 mons, Veluza and Wugtrio, go down to a single attack. However, they're both faster than Mini Swamp, and land a hit each, and a final attack from Crabominable finishes us off. I'm amazed we did that well. Before we level up, let's progress some of the other stories. The Quaking Earth Titan Iron Treads is an easy enough battle. 2 Earthquakes knock it out. However, we can't use this strategy in the second battle, or else Arven's Scovillain goes down before the Titan, leaving Wooper in a 1v1 fight that it has no chance of winning. Basically, I need Scovillain around to just tank the hits meant for Wooper. So we repeat our winning strategy from the Orthworm Titan fight by relying on Low Kick. We win, but not before Iron Treads is able to take out Arven's Pokemon. But luck is on our side as Mini Swamp avoids a second attack that would have easily knocked it out. We take on Team Star's Poison Crew next. Mini Swamp is 23 levels higher than Atticus's strongest Pokemon, and with Wooper having a second typing of Poison, I'm feeling confident we can win. We don't terrestrialize as it will remove our poison typing. Skuntank's Sucker Punch fails if you don't select an attacking move, so we use Yawn and then Protect on the following turn. Once asleep, I knock it out with Earthquake, so we take no damage. Because I've terrestrialized Mini Swamp and it's now a pure ground type, Revavroom uses Iron Head instead of Bulldoze. A single Earthquake knocks it out though. Muck uses Sludge Wave, but it's not very effective, so we one-shot it with Earthquake, and the Starmobile requires just 2 attacks to beat. I switch up my tactics against Kofu. We teach Trailblaze to Wooper. As a grass type move, it will be super effective against Kofu's mons. It also raises speed after every use. I use Yawn against his first Pokemon as it uses Aqua Cutter. On my second turn, I use Protect. It takes 2 Trailblazes to knock it out, so we get 2 speed boosts. Even with our increased speed, Wugtrio is faster and lands Water Pulse. A single Trailblaze knocks it out, but our third speed boost is negated by Wugtrio's Gooey ability. We are faster than his final Pokemon, Crabominable, and land our first Trailblaze. It's not enough to knock it out though. It connects with Slam, but Mini Swamp survives. The second Trailblaze is all that's needed to earn us the Water Badge at level 55. The Ghost Gym's test consists of 3 back-to-back double battles, so we retrieve one of our Woopers from the box. It's only level 5, so it gets knocked out before it gets a chance to attack. The first battle is simple. 2 Earthquakes wins us the fight. However, the second battle is a major roadblock in this challenge. Haunter and Misdreavus both have Levitate and resist poison types. Between that and Haunter's Curse, Wooper sustains too much damage to win. So we attempt Alphanada's Psychic Gym, but it's another terrible matchup for us as Wooper is weak to Psychic type attacks, which means we can't even make it past the gym test on our first attempt. Just look at how much damage Gothita did with a single attack, and that's after we've terrestrialized to remove our poison typing. In this gym test, we're thrown straight into the second gym battle with no opportunity to heal. So, Trainer Raphael's Grumpig destroys Mini Swamp with a Side Shock. At level 65, we attempt to beat Larry once more, and we fare better and come close to winning. Mini Swamp can now take around 3 attacks and can knock out both its first 2 mons with a single Terrestrialized Earthquake, so long as we get high roll on the Dun Dun spars. I'm realizing that it's not just Wooper's speed and inability to take damage that is a problem, we're also relying on luck, such as whether opponents miss their moves or we overcome status effects. Like on this run, where all we need is for Protect to succeed 2 turns in a row and let Staraptor faint from the poison damage. I know it's only a 50% chance, but it feels like we're getting more bad luck than good in this run. Okay, let's try something else. Maybe if we increase Wooper's speed enough with Swift Wings, we'll be quicker, but this only changes the Dun Dun Sparse's AI, and it now refuses to use Glare, instead just going on the offensive with Hyper Drills, so we actually take more damage than on previous runs. I do more EV training by using stat boosting items to raise our defense and special defense and then try again, but I come across a problem. We've maxed out Wooper's EVs, so we're going to have to rock out with these stats for the rest of the run, unless we can get our hands on some stat lowering berries. Our increased defenses help though. Kamala uses Yawn as we knock it out. We use Yawn against Dun Dun Spars as we fall asleep the following turn, so it gets the chance to use 2 Hyper Drills. However, our increased defenses means Mini Swamp tanks the attack much better. Now we're both asleep, it's down to RNG, and for once we get lucky as we wake up first to knock it out. Against Staraptor, we're now able to survive our facade, but not by much as we're left with just 39 HP as Poison Point kicks in. We come so close to knocking it out and rely on our trusted poison damage and protect combo to finally beat the normal gym. After the battle, we're forced to battle Nemona again. We come into this battle straight from the gym fight and don't get the options to change our moves. However, we are fully healed and 30 levels higher, so we make quick work of her Lycanroc, Gumi, and Pormo. Nemona's final mon is Quackwaval. She's obviously feeling confident and says she wants to see us stand up to this as she uses a Terrestrialized Aqua Step. This 80 base power attack is boosted from the same type attack bonus and the Terrestrialization bonus, and surprisingly, Mini Swamp survives the attack. Barely. So she wins yet another rival fight. However, if we had used a Yawn and Protect strategy, we might have won, but I'm not resetting my game for an optional fight as that'd mean I'd have to beat Larry again. Let's wrap up the final Titan. It one-shots us with Aqua Tail. Let's come back to it later. Maybe Mini Swamp's increased level means we can beat the Ghost Gym double battles. Nope. Look how little damage we're doing against Haunter with our Poison Jab. Let's break down why I'm having so much difficulty with this. Our current attacks are normal, fighting, poison, ground, grass, and water. Do you see the issue? Against ghost types with Levitate, like Haunted and Mischievous, 3 of these typings deal no damage, and 2 are resisted. We have a few options with our TMs, but not many. I try combining Water Pulse with Rain Dance to boost our special attack. Water Pulse does do more damage than Poison Jab, however it will still take 3 attacks to knock out the Haunter. It goes as well as you expect. At this point in the game, there are only a handful of TMs available that Wooper can learn. The 3 attacking moves that might help in this battle are Liquidation, Rock Tomb, and Avalanche. Liquidation, like Water Pulse, is a water type move, however it's physical, so we should deal a lot more damage as Wooper's physical attack is stronger than its special attack, and we can combine it with the Rain to further increase the damage we deal. We try this new tactic, setting up the Rain Dance as Mischievous uses Psybeam. It's super effective as I forgot to Terrestrialize to remove Wooper's secondary poison typing. Whoops! Haunter knocks out my second Wooper. The following 2 turns, Liquidation knocks out both of the trainer's mons. We do get some help though from the game as Mischievous wastes both turns by using Pain Split. The final battle is against the man, the myth, the legend himself, MC Sledge. I hope he's a better MC than he is a trainer, as his Drifblim uses self-destruct, and once we've set up the Rain Dance, we just need to use the Liquidation to win the fight. Against Gym Leader Rhyme, our second Wooper always gets knocked out on turn 1, so Mini Swamp is fighting an uphill battle against 4 Pokemon in a 2v1 format. Her Ghost Pokemon don't have Levitate, so now we can use Earthquake. However, on turn 1, Mimikyu receives no damage because of its disguise ability, and Banette can survive an attack. And even worse still, Earthquake doesn't work against Houndstone once it disappears when using Phantom Force. So to win, we'll either need to increase our Wooper's level or come up with a new strategy. A quick search online and I find the location of TM Substitute, which we can find near the Alphanada gym. We set up our substitute on turn 1 and also get an increase in each of our stats. I think this is something to do with the cheering of the crowd, but I'm not sure. If you know why, tell me in the comments below. These increased stats play a huge role in this battle as our sub doesn't break from Mimikyu's Slash, and not only are we faster than Banette, but we knock it out with a single non-terrestrialized Earthquake. Of course, Mimikyu takes no damage, but we break its disguise. On turn 4 we protect as Houndstone vanishes with Phantom Force. The following turn, Slash still doesn't break our substitute and we knock out Mimikyu with Earthquake. However, Houndstone isn't on the field, so it avoids our attack and then breaks our sub. On turn 6, with both Rhyme's final Pokemon out, I throw everything at them, terrestrializing Wooper and using Earthquake to knock them both out and claim the 6th gym badge. From one gym to another, we retry the Alpha Nada gym test. It turns out that we don't need to rebattle the first trainer, so we can terrestrialize Miniswamp in the battle against the second trainer and his 3 Pokemon. But even with this advantage, we can't beat him until we reach level 70, as he uses 3 Psychic Mons. Once again, we lose the next rival fight against Nemona because of her Water-type Pokemon. Against Tulip's Psychic-type Pokemon, Miniswamp faints from just 3 attacks, and we're 26 levels higher than her first 2 Pokemon. Farigiraf hits us twice with Zen Headbutt, as we're unable to take it down in a single Terrestrialized Earthquake. And because Miniswamp is now a solo Ground-type, Gardevoir wipes the floor of us using a single super effective Energy Ball. Although, I think that alone would have knocked out Miniswamp from full HP. We're in a terrible situation. If we don't Terrestrialize, we're weak to a Psychic-type attack. If we do, we're weak to a Grass-type attack. You want more proof of Wooper's terrible special defense? Here's Mr. Harrington outside of the Fairy Crew's base, knocking out Wooper with a single Psychic. But with a quick change of moves, we're able to beat Mr. Harrington and get inside the base. Against Ortega's team, we're off to a terrible start as Azumarill uses Charm to lower our attack. So we deal an underwhelming amount of damage with Poison Jab, even though it's super effective. Through a combination of poison damage and our attacks, we're able to make it to his second Pokemon, Wigglytuff. But with just 15 HP left, we're unable to win. This isn't looking good. Our Wooper is level 70 and we can't beat most of the endgame content. Even at level 80, we're able to tank enough damage to make it past Wigglytuff, but not his third Pokemon, Dashbun, and we're still unable to beat Dondozo, as it again destroys us with Aqua Tail. Against Tulip, I changed my strategy, terrestrializing to remove my Psychic weakness and using Yawn and Protect on the first 2 turns to put Farafarig to sleep, but not before he gets a chance to set up a Reflect. I then use Amnesia 3 times to increase Miniswamp's special defense to its maximum. The Reflect ends the following turn as we knock it out with Earthquake. However, it's still close. Because of Wooper's increased special defense, it's able to tank enough attacks, and with its Terrestrialized damage boost, we're able to knock out her final 3 Pokemon with a single attack each. However, it's still close, as a combination of Energy Ball, Psychic, and Petal Blizzard brings Miniswamp uncomfortably close to fainting. Vrusha is the final gym leader. His team consists of Ice-type Pokemon, and wouldn't you know it, Wooper is weak to Ice. Earthquake isn't very effective against Frostmoth, which retaliates with Blizzard, which knocks out Miniswamp from full HP. But I have a bit of a strategy here as well. Ice-type Pokemon are weak to rock moves, and lucky for us, Wooper can learn Stone Edge. To get the TM for this, we need to beat 6 trainers in North Province Area 1. They're around level 50, so we're able to beat them all, but it's a combination of trial and error. Typically, I fight them, lose, and then change Miniswamp's attacks to get the correct combination of attacks to win. Stone Edge is powerful enough to take out Frostmoth with a single attack as it misses Blizzard. Like the rest of this challenge, Wooper is slower than most other Pokemon we come across, so a combination of attacks from Beartic and Titan wins Grusha the battle. I think we can win this battle though at Wooper's current level, but it relies heavily on some RNG luck. First, I replace Poison Jab with Substitute. I'll need Frostmoth to miss back-to-back Blizzards to give me the opportunity to set up a Substitute, and then hit with Stone Edge, which isn't 100% accurate, and for Beartic to then miss Icicle Crash. Basically, I need a lot of luck. If my maths is right, for every 2,500 battles, this will happen 18 times, so not great odds. On the first attempt, Blizzard connects and Wooper goes down. Great start. Several attempts later, Frostmoth uses Tailwind, a complete waste as Wooper is slower than every member of his team. We get our perfect run though as it misses Blizzard and Stone Edge connects. Perfect. Beartic's Icicle Crash connects though, breaking our sub as we knock it out with a Terrestrialized Earthquake. With no sub, Miniswamp is guaranteed to be hit by Titan's move as they're all 100% accurate, so we lose the fight. While I could try again and again and again to get the perfect run for my own sanity, I'd rather just level up our Wooper. Now level 91, we're able to get past the Titan by using Stone Edge instead, but with just 46 HP left, the game will choose one of Alteria's 100% accurate moves to finish off Miniswamp. It seems we really do need that perfect run I just spoke about. Either we need enough HP left over against Altaria to survive an attack, or for it to use Hurricane and miss. Let's try and beat the final Titan quest once more before we reach level 100. We're faster than Dondozo and set up a sub. My plan is to keep setting up Substitute until it misses Aqua Tail, which is a 1 in 10 chance. Strangely though, it switches to using Body Slam and fails to break our second sub. With our sub up, we're able to land 2 Earthquakes to send it fleeing. I love how casual Miniswamp is here, just wandering back to me like the fight was no big deal. I tried the same tactic in the second battle. Our sub survives as Greedent uses Takedown. I choose not to use Earthquake as there's a risk I'll knock out Greedent, so I use Stone Edge, which isn't ideal. But thanks to Greedent soaking up the damage, we're able to beat the 5th and final Titan. Except it's not. The true Titan Tasugiri is our next challenge, as it uses special type attacks which neither of our Pokemon are set up to withstand. It's no surprise that we lose. After making our way back and beating Dondozo, once again we attempt the fight once more. This time we get all the luck and beat it, with Mini Swamp taking no damage as it avoids Muddy Water and Tasugiri aiming for Greedent on every turn. Are you getting deja vu yet? We attempt the Fairy type Team Star Leader once more. We're quicker than a Zoom Roll and we get the chance to set up a sub, so Charm fails to lower Mini Swamp's attack. The next turn, it attacks first. Wait, we're speed tied? It breaks our sub with Acro Tail and we knock it out with Poison Jab. Wigglytuff also goes down to a single attack. Dash Bun uses Baby Doll Eyes twice to lower attack, so it takes 2 Poison Jabs to knock it out. With a reduced attack, Mini Swamp doesn't deal a lot of damage against Ortega's Starmobile. All we can do is set up substitutes and use Poison Jab over and over. The Starmobile throws everything at us. It tries confusing us and twice fails to break our substitute as we whittle down its HP. We win, but it's a close battle, with Mini Swamp having just 30 HP left over by the end of the fight. We're on a roll now. Let's try and wrap up the final Team Star base. Eri's first Pokemon is Toxicroak, which fails to use Sucker Punch as I set up my substitute. Our sub survives a Brick Break and we knock it out with Earthquake. His second Pokemon is Annihilate. It uses Ice Punch, which is definitely breaking our substitute. We're unable to knock it out, but it opts to use Rage Fist first. It's a critical hit and puts Mini Swamp into the yellow. Lucario is her third Pokemon, which brings Mini Swamp's HP to just 1 with Dragon Pulse, so inevitably, we lose. We have yet another type matchup issue. If we Terrestrialize, we lose resistance to fighting type moves, which results in her Pokemon using Close Combat, Aura Sphere, and Combat Tour. We try our previous successful tactic, putting Toxicroak to sleep and using Amnesia to boost our special defense. While it won't be of use against 3 of her Mons, her Lucario only uses special moves, so we'll at least have more HP to tackle the Starmobile. After knocking out the Toxicroak, Eri changes tactics using Passimian. We're able to knock it out, but not before he breaks our sub. This time Annihilate uses Fire Punch. For some reason, we knock it out with an Earthquake. Lucario is out next and is able to land 2 Aura Spheres, but with Mini Swamp's boosted special defense, we tank it with ease. We now have another sub setup, but have just 29 HP remaining. Eri's final mon is of course the Starmobile, which surprisingly isn't able to break my sub. But look how little damage our Terrestrialized Earthquake does. Even worse, the Starmobile's ability Stamina boosts its defense. The game does take pity on us, however, as it misses high horsepower and wastes a turn using shift gear, but it's not enough. We come close, but we don't win. Unfortunately, we don't have access to an equivalent to Amnesia to boost Wooper's defense, so we'll need to come up with an alternative method to win. But the fact that Wooper, as frail as it is, can beat 4 of her mons is impressive. Right, time to hit level 100. I take a break to try and beat Grusha once more. After some research, I come up with the perfect strategy. I use Amnesia to increase Mini Swamp's special defense. Before knocking out Frostmoth, I set up a substitute. It's a risky strategy as it leaves me vulnerable to Blizzard, but as we're a high level, our Wooper can survive a couple of attacks, and maybe we'll get lucky and Frostmoth will miss. And because we're now level 100, we outspeed Beartic, which is crucial as it means we have our substitute set up against a Titan, so we survive Liquidation. I don't think Earthquake will knock it out in a single attack, so I use Stone Edge. It's risky as it's not 100% accurate, but I'm confident we can easily get back to this position much easier than using the previous strategy. And it connects, so Titan goes down. Grusha's final Pokemon Altaria is out. I briefly panic considering setting up a substitute, as I know it has Ice Beam, which Wooper is weak to, but I don't need to worry. It only does 20 HP of damage, so we knock it out to claim the 8th and final gym badge. There's just 1 badge left to claim. I try a strategy of using Trailblaze to outspeed Eri's Pokemon, but it does less damage than my other attacks. So her team gets more opportunities to attack us, and again, Wooper just doesn't have enough HP to win. I think this plan could work, but it needs tweaking slightly. As Toxicroak uses Sucker Punch on most turns, I can avoid any damage as long as I don't use an attacking move. So on the first 4 turns, I use Spikes twice, then Yawn, and then set up a third and final layers of Spikes. With Toxicroak now asleep, I can use Trailblaze to damage it and boost Wooper's speed. Annoyingly, it wakes up and gets to attack us, but we're able to beat it with around 2/3 of our health remaining. Thanks to the spikes, each Pokemon she sends in takes damage, and with our increased speed, we're able to knock out the next 3 Pokemon with a single Terrestrialized Earthquake before they get a chance to attack. So we make it to the Starmobile with 175 HP left. So we have plenty of HP left to chip away at its health to comfortably win. With that victory, we've wrapped up all of the badges, but this challenge video isn't over yet. We have the Elite Four, Arven, Clive, or is it Director Claval, and Penny to beat. The Pokemon website says Arven isn't very good at Pokemon battles, so let's start with him. Turns out that's a lie. He uses a diverse team of 6 Pokemon ranging from level 58 to 63. On our first attempt, Greedent and Toedscruel chip away to knock out Miniswamp with a combination of Earthquake and Power Whip. Even with luck on our side like this attempt, we're unable to one-shot his Toedscruel, which retaliates with Power Whip, leaving Miniswamp with just 2 HP. And although we're able to beat it, we can't knock out Cloister, which secures Arven's victory of Icicle Spear. I try all of the previous strategies that have gotten me this far with just Wooper. I try laying down hazards, using the Yawn and Protect strategy, increasing Wooper's speed with Trailblaze, and setting up Substitute to absorb damage. Depending on whether we terrestrialize, his team has 11 super effective physical attacks, and as we're unable to increase Wooper's defense in battle, there's no way we're taking down a full team of 6 Pokemon with a single Wooper. So I tried to take on Clive. Wait, Director Claval? You're telling me that they're the same person? What? Only one of his team is weak to poison moves, but some share a weakness to rock, so we add Stone Edge. Wooper is slower than Oranguru, which goes for foul play, likely because the AI cheats and knows I'm setting up a sub and realizes Yawn won't work. With the substitute up, I use Trailblaze as it uses Reflect. Our Pokemon trade blows, me increasing Wooper's speed with Trailblaze and replacing my sub, which usually takes 2 foul plays to break. It takes 4 Trailblazes and some cheeky poison damage to knock it out. The Reflect wears off as he sends an Abomasnow. Stone Edge connects but fails to knock it out, meaning it gets to set up Aurora Veil, halving both physical and special damage for 5 turns. We terrestrialize and use Earthquake to attempt to knock it out, rather than risk missing with Stone Edge. With the Veil up and it not being very effective, I wasn't sure it would be enough. And it's not. So it breaks my sub with Blizzard as I knock it out with a final Trailblaze. Aurora Veil is still in effect and Gyarados lowers our attack with Intimidate. So Stone Edge does nowhere near enough damage as it knocks out Wooper with Aqua Tail. I try another tactic. Oranguru likes to use Yawn, so I try the same. Whoever wakes up first usually gets to knock out the other. On one run, we're able to wake up and set up Stealth Rocks and increase Mini Swamp speed with Trailblaze. But even with the damage from Stealth Rocks and connecting with Stone Edge, we're unable to knock out the Abomasnow. Just look how close we came. To win, we need to make it past Abomasnow before it sets up Aurora Veil, which means I need a critical hit or a high roll. On another attempt, luck is on our side as Stone Edge knocks out Abomasnow. Stone Edge also connects with his Gyarados, but Wooper's attack isn't high enough thanks to Gyarados' Intimidate. We do make it past, but Aqua Tail hits Mini Swamp for a lot of damage first. Even with Wooper's increased speed thanks to Trailblaze, it doesn't matter as Poltergeist has Sucker Punch, losing us this run. On another attempt, Claval's Amoonguss uses Giga Drain to knock out Mini Swamp after we miss Stone Edge. After attempting this battle for 4 hours, we finally get the perfect run. We have full HP, Stealth Rock set up, and we've increased our speed 3 times with Trailblaze. Stone Edge knocks out Abomasnow and Gyarados despite its Intimidate. Poltergeist survives though and burns with Will-O-Wisp, reducing Mini Swamp's attack even more. It then uses 2 Shadow Balls to end the fight. 2 hours later and I'm still stuck, unable to replicate that near perfect run. If Poltergeist had missed the Will-O-Wisp, which is just a 15% chance, we might have succeeded. On a good run, we can make it past Poltergeist or Amoonguss, but not both. It would take a perfect run to beat this battle with Wooper without using items, and I'm sorry folks, but I can't sit here for days trying, likely in vain, to achieve that run. So we're unable to beat 2 of the 3 paths. Let's see how we get on in the Elite Four. The first member is Rika, and we actually have an easy run. She starts with Wishcash. It's faster than Mini Swamp and hits us with Earth Power. But as it's quad weak to grass type attacks, it takes just 1 Trailblaze to knock it out. I also terrestrialize to remove Wooper's ground weakness. Camerupt is quad weak to water, so a single liquidation takes it down. Donphan survives liquidation, so I finish it off with Trailblaze. Dugtrio is faster, but it wastes its turn with Sandstorm. 1 liquidation beats it. Clodsire is her final mon, and I mess up, forgetting it as Water Absorb as it connects with a terrestrialized Earthquake to knock out our Wooper. That battle was so simple for once that we beat it on our second attempt. The only difference is we used Trailblaze to knock out Clodsire in 2 attacks, rather than using Liquidation like the complete numpty I am. The second member of the Elite Four is Poppy, who specializes in steel types. Copperager isn't a threat. We're faster and a single terrestrialized Earthquake sees it off. Easy. Corviknight is something else entirely. Earthquake is ineffective because of its secondary flying typing. In every attempt, it uses Iron Defense on turn 1 to further increase its already high defense. While we are able to whittle down its HP with Liquidation, it has the pressure ability, meaning by the time we've knocked it out, we haven't got enough PP left to beat Bronzong, which is also immune to Earthquake because it has the Levitate ability. I try using Water Pulse to take advantage of Corviknight's weaker special defense. We get some support from the game too as we're able to confuse it. And it wastes 2 turns with Iron Defense and spends a few turns asleep. Against Bronzong we use Yawn, however because we can only have 4 moves we can't bring Protect, so it lands 2 attacks, more than enough to knock Mini Swamp out. Another strategy I try is using Chilling Water. Chilling Water has 10 less base power than Water Pulse, but the advantage is that it's guaranteed to reduce the attack stats of your opponent. So by the time Corviknight wakes up after we put it to sleep with Yawn, it's -3 in attack. and it still does half our health and damage. Why? Because the damage of body press increases based on the user's defense stat, and Corviknight increased its defense by 4 stages after using Iron Defense on the first 2 turns. This time, I try using Stone Edge as it sets up its first Iron Defense. Stone Edge does about the same as the previous strategies I've used. Corviknight is Steel and Flying, making it the perfect counter to Paldean Wooper as it's immune to all poison and ground moves. You know, Paldean Wooper's primary and secondary typings? It's only weak to fire and electric, and we have no access to moves of these typings. It also resists normal, grass, flying, psychic, bug, dragon, steel, and fairy. Not that I have much access to moves of this typing either. I try one last time with low kick, which has an increased power of 80 against Corviknight, but it does about the same amount of damage as all the other tactics I've used. At this point, I've been stuck battling Poppy, Arven, and Director Clavel for about 12 hours, and have yet to come up with a strategy to beat any of them. Maybe if we had a Wooper with better IVs, or one that has access to egg moves such as Recover, Stockpile, Counter, and Curse, it might be doable. So, is it possible to beat Pokemon Scarlet and Violet with a regular Paldean Wooper caught in the wild? No. Sorry folks, but you can't win them all. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like to let me know if you want more content like this. Before you go, click one of the on-screen links to watch another one of my challenge videos. And until next time, remember to flex your inner geek. See ya!